Welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to learn how we can create this workday organizer using 7 simple tips from my last tutorial. If you want to watch the 7 simple tips on how you can improve your printable design, I do recommend you to watch that video first before watching this video. So the link will be up there in this video right now. In this tutorial, which is the second part of it, I'll show you how to turn your printable from this one here to this current printable that I've already done. So we'll go through step by step on how you can create it, okay? Well, if you have watched my previous tutorial, I mentioned that I got this design from Fresh and Organized. Okay, she has an Etsy store, and so I'm just using her example of her printable design, how I can improve it further to make it a really lovely theme printable right here. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is hit File, New, and Document. Okay, and I'll head over to Print, Letter Size, Millimeters. You can use inches if you want, but I'll just stick to millimeters because that's what I'm most comfortable with. And I usually leave my margins as a 15 mils all round, okay? Or if you're in inches, probably an inch or half an inch. You just want to test things out, but you want to make sure that you give enough margins on the sides. All right, so create. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is I want to copy this as reference for me, so I'm just going to paste it side here. Oops. Okay, and the next thing you want to do is head over this type tool and drag it out for your text. Okay, you can drag it out right there in if you like, and then type the workday organizer. Okay, now before we continue working on this, I just like to mention that make sure you've already chosen a theme for your printable. And what theme and concept I'm using right now is using a feminine concept, fun and casual, and hygge. And make sure, as mentioned in the previous video, that the concepts that you chose does complement each other very well, and it flows and blends in very well to create a beautiful printable design. Okay, so one of the concepts for fun and casual is through fonts. Okay, I'm choosing a casual font, a lovely casual and organic font which is called Gamja Flower. I will include the link on this font. It will be this one here. It's a free font. It's a free Google font. So for those who are feeling like they have to buy a font in order for them to create a lovely design, I think that's just not true. You can use free fonts like this and create beautiful designs. Okay, the next thing I want to do is to increase the text size, maybe to 60. All right, and then I want to create all of these in caps. So make sure your texts are all selected. Go to type and go down to change case uppercase. All right, I think that's beautiful. And then I want to crop the text by just double clicking it and hold down your Command and Shift key to just scale it down a little bit like that. Here you go. That looks good. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to remove this, lines, that obvious lines around my text. I'll just head over to View and over Print View. What it does is it sort of like now makes this fade into the background, which is fine because I can still see it, and you don't have that lines anymore, that obvious line around your text. The next thing is to create this Monday, Tuesday, this strip of like days and months and also the dates. Okay, so this 2 strips of text. So what I'll do is I'll just create a long text like this one, like this. I'm just eyeing it out, and then I'll make sure everything's in caps. So and I'll just keep this centered as well. I'm just gonna increase it. So Monday, Tuesday. Oops. Okay, let's try 1, 2, 3. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'll do the months. I'm gonna select everything now and maybe put it to 9, and then I'm gonna increase the kerning, which is the space between the letters. So hold down your Option key, your Alt key, and hit your right arrow, just a bit like that. Alright, and then I'm going to change this font into a sans serif font. Currently it is a serif font. You can see the strokes at the ends of the fonts. That's called a serif font. But the serif font usually gives you a very serious look, and you want it to be casual and just something that is simple. Okay, so I usually choose Avenir. It's my font that I'm using right now, but you can actually use a different font. Any simple fonts will do, and I will include this as well in the link below in the description box. OpenSense is one of my favorites, Noto Sense, something that is very simple and clean. Okay, so you can choose any of these fonts, all right, and all of these are free as well. It's a Google font. Okay, so we'll get back to to here, and I'm just gonna increase, and then I'm just gonna hit this align center so your text is resting in between the strip, and it looks much better this way. Alright, it's lovely. Okay, Option, hold your Option key and Shift key to duplicate, and I'm going to use the same one to create the dates. Okay, so okay, so I'm just going to select everything and bring it further down to size to 8 points, and then I'm just going to decrease the kerning again, so Option and your left arrow, just to bring everything in. Okay, and I think it looks so much better now. Okay, alright, so I've done this one and this one, and I'm just going to make sure that there is enough. Just bring it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to create a stroke for now, just so I can see the outline of the box. Later on, we are going to put colors in it. Okay, so just do this like that. Yep. I'm just going to zoom out just to have a look. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, the next thing you want to do is to do each section of your to-do, projects, reminders, and etc. So we'll focus on the first section first, and then later on we are going to duplicate so that you can save time designing. So it will save you so much time using this way of creating. The first thing you need to do is hold onto your type tool and create a text box for your to-do. Okay, you want to centralize it, okay, and then change to the gumja flower, and I'll usually use a 15 points for this one, and I'll hit this button here, align center, so it sits in between the strip, the box. Okay, and then I'll do the to-do box like this. Okay, just make sure it's 0.25. I find that using 0.25 is the best, and it just gives you a really cleaner look, and it's not so thick. You know, you don't use much ink, and it looks good too. Okay, at the end of the day, you know, it's up to you. It's really up to you. This is really a personal preference, and I like it this way because I personally feel it makes your design look so much cleaner, and you use less ink as well. Now, before I continue doing all these lines and boxes, you want to do the box and the lines together first. Let's just make sure that it's a bit far, a little bit further from the box, and just make sure that that the size of the box is the same length as your line here. Okay, just select both, group it, and then use your Option key and your Shift key to duplicate. Okay, I'm just gonna go closer so for you to look at. Okay, all right, just try again. So Option key and Shift key, and then just let go. And then I want to duplicate again and again and again. So what I'll do is hold your Command Option Shift and D. All right, that is to duplicate the last step that you've done. Okay, and the next thing I want to do is select everything, group it, and I'll again hold your Option key and your Shift key and you duplicate it. Okay, and then again Command Option Shift and D to duplicate the last step. Okay, I think that looks really good. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to duplicate these 3 rows down below as well. So what I'll do is I'll copy everything and hold your Option and Shift key and just duplicate it like that. Yep. Okay, that is cool. I think that looks really good. And the next thing I want to do is I'll select everything and ungroup it. Command Shift G. Okay, and now I'll just leave here 6 boxes at the top and 6 boxes at the below. Okay, so basically this is like 15 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now I'll just remove these 2 lines like that, and then bring this to select, Shift, select, hold Option key and Shift, and then select it down like that. Okay, great. Look, it's coming together very nicely. And you want to probably maybe keep this as I think there's 7 boxes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and maybe the rest you can just basically delete it like that, just for the 2 first rows. And then here you want to ungroup all this first. Okay, so Command Shift G or Control Shift G, and then select just the lines and bring it over like that, right to the edge. And I'll select the boxes, hold your Shift key, and to deselect the rest ones, okay, the rest of the lines, and just like that, delete. Okay, so you have this is the meetings, the follow-up, due, and then I want to create the lines for underneath. So what I can do is I can actually select the you know, if I can actually put one more line if I wanted to, yeah, just to fill up the gap below. And then maybe I'll just copy this one, Option and Shift, just to so this will be the notes, right? Okay, and then I want to probably copy the lines from here, so I'll just simply select it, really just hold your Option key and Shift key and just put it right at the margins, and then I'll just drag it out like that. Okay, and I'll just delete this part. All right, and because this is the only one that is like, you know, is with the notes, I would just not, this might be too long and it probably doesn't look very good for this notes section. So I'm just gonna align it to margins and put it right at the edge like that, and just shorten it out, shorten it a bit. Okay, cool. Okay, we are getting there very quickly. So the next thing you want to do is to change the titles on each banner or in each titles. Reminders. All. So keep things simple. And one of the tips is to keep it minimal. And if you notice, I only use 2 types of fonts. So, you know, it just keeps things very minimal and simple and clean. Okay. Okay, and then I think we have to add this AM and PM on here. So again, go to your type tool and just type it out, AM, and it probably is quite big, so I want to maybe put a 9 or an, I'm not sure, maybe an 8. Just put an 8. Yeah, much better, I think. Okay, and then we'll put PM maybe here. I'm just eyeing at the moment. Okay, very nice. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to put colors into the banners here, into the titles, and into the strip of text here as well. And one of the ways to create this feminine concept is through colors. Okay, there are 2 ways that you can bring in the colors. So first of all, you need to choose a color palette that blends in with the theme of your design. And currently I chose a feminine concept with a hygge concept. So you can go over to Pinterest and just type out color palettes, and it will bring out like a bunch of color palettes here. And I found one that I really like, and it's from Sarah Titus. You can click on and go to her website and get the hex coat on each colors here. So the Oracle, Cloudless Sky, Heather Gray, Grenadine Pink, Pink Frolic. Okay, so you can choose, like, let's say if you want Oracle Blue, you can just copy the numbers, okay? And then go to your color, just double click in here first, Control A and Control V to paste it, and click OK. Alright, now you want to open your swatches panel, and to find that, if you can't find it here, go to Windows, Color, and Swatches. Alright, so basically you got the first color, and you can just take it and just drag it down like that. Okay, but that's the second way I want to show you, which is my preferred way. What I do is I usually go to Pinterest, right click, save image as, and I save it on my desktop or wherever it is, and I'll bring it into my InDesign. Okay, so I'll just drag it in like this, and just just place it anywhere. Okay, if I put it here, you probably can't see it, so I'm just using this way instead. Alright, and then I use this eyedropper tool, or just hit I on the keyboard, and I'll just pick up the color, and I'll just take it and just drag it down like that. Alright, and then I'll hit I again, and then just pick the color up. Alright, and then just drag it into your swatches panel. You have to keep hitting I on your keyboard to activate your eyedropper. Alright, and then that's it. Okay, and the only good thing about using the copy and paste of your hex code is it just pastes in CMYK, which is for print. But I think it really doesn't matter, because I tried printing and it still comes out quite well. It still comes out pretty good, so I'm quite happy with that. Anyway, so I'll just delete it, and then you don't need it because all your colors are in your panel already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the colors that I've just dropped into the color swatches panel, and hit on this new color group, so it groups inside this folder. Okay, and I'll just gonna name it Hygge pastel color. Alright, or just whatever you want to name it, really. Okay, the next thing is you want to select your banner, or select the first one here first, okay, and put a the first color that you want, right? And then the second could be this one here, right? But I still feel it's a bit dark, so I'm just going to select both and just bring down the tint to 50%, and then I'll just remove the stroke as well. Alright, so that's done. So the next one we're going to do is select each one, because this is a trick, okay? So instead of like clicking on each banner, putting the colors in, so make sure your fill color is activated. So instead of clicking each one, putting the colors in and changing the tint one by one, I'll put 30% instead, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to undo this. I'm just going to select everyone. Okay, hold your shift key and select all your banners. Okay, I'm just going to put one color in first, and I'm just going to change the tint to 30%. Alright, now once I do that, I can go on each one and select the color that I want. Alright, now the reason why I do that is so it's so that I don't have to keep changing the tint. Okay, once you've done once, and if you want to change the color, you can just click on the swatches color. You don't need to keep changing the tint. So that's one of the awesome things about InDesign. I love this this feature. And I think the last one is a little bit green one. Okay, now I look at it, it's not bad, but I think we can do it better. Okay, now because I want the feel to be a fun, casual look in the Hygge concept, I want the design to look even softer and more casual looking. There's a bit of a softness towards the design. I want that softness. To do that, I would like to put some curve boxes for the titles. So I'll just select each one of these like this. Okay, I just select, so hold your shift key and select everything. And then head over to this tool here. You see this line? Select this and select the rounded corner. Alright? And then you can choose how many mils you want. I'll put 1.5 mils. Just a little bit of curved. And can you see the design is becoming softer now? And I'll just space it out a little bit more like that. I think that looks really good. So just remove this to have a look. I think it's coming very well. It's coming together very, very well. I really like it a lot. And maybe this one, I'll just put it in here. So it's sitting inside the banner. Don't want it to be too out. And I want to leave this space for my clip art banner. So that's why I'm leaving this space here. I'm pretty happy with this actually. I think it looks really good. Look, we have enough space at the top, enough space on each section. Okay, so it really separates your sections very well. And the reason why I don't want to put a color like what she's done here inside the printable is my preference. Okay, I mean, you can do whatever you like, but how I see it is sometimes you use a lot of ink for your printable. Okay, and plus you sometimes when you write on colored areas like that, sometimes it's really hard to see. You need like a darker pen or something like that. So I like to keep things very simple and clean, and that's why I only put the colored on the banner itself. Okay, so last but not least, we'll put in the graphics, the design elements into your design. So one of the ways to put the Hygge concept is to put a clip art element that reflects the Hygge theme. So you use clip arts to represent the theme itself. So I chose this doodles graphics from Nikki Latz. I'll put the link inside the description as well. At that time, she gave this for free. They might not be free anymore, but anyway, she creates beautiful doodles. I love her design. Okay, so do check her site out. And the first thing I'm going to put in is, yeah, the banner, of course. So remember to keep your design minimal, as in to choose a graphic and stick to that style. Okay, do not put different doodle styles. Okay, just stick to one, and it makes a big difference to your design. Okay. Alright, so as you can see, if I paste into my InDesign, you will know it's a vector graphic when you have dotted lines around your graphic, okay? So I'll just hold my shift key to just bring it down a bit, and I'm just going to put it at the side like that. Just bring it out. I think it gives a very interesting composition if it comes out from the design, comes out a little bit from the banner, okay? And maybe this one I'll just increase the text a bit, so Command Shift to increase the text. Oops, not too big, not too big. And then I'm just going to put the background as white, okay? And I'm just going to bring this to front. You can right click, arrange, bring to front, right? And I like to have a little bit of the overlap of the text on the graphic, because I think it gives a very interesting look to your printable. Yeah, looks really good. So I'll just put this, just bring this out a little bit more, maybe a bit more like that, side like that, and I just increase the text a little bit more, just so, yeah, that's good. Alright, just a little bit like that, yeah. A little bit of breathing room for your title. I have made a bit of breathing room so that you can see the to-do banner nicely, okay? Do not feel like you need to use up all the negative white space, okay? White space is your friend, and it really helps to make your design look so much better. You give a bit of breathing room to each element on the page, okay? So the next thing we are going to do is to include the elements into your design. So we have done the banner. Next we are going to put in different elements. We'll just choose this one here. Just copy and paste inside. Right, use your shift key. You don't need to hold the option, or sorry, you don't need to hold the command key or the control key. You just use your shift key for vector graphics. Okay, I think that looks good. Next one, we put it in a kettle. You just hold your shift key and just scale it down like that. Maybe tilt it a little bit like that. Scale it down a little bit more. Okay, maybe a little bit more. There you go. Looks pretty good. Looks good. And then we'll do something at the top. Maybe we use this one here. And then copy and paste. Just bring it down. I think that's a good size. Maybe a little bit smaller. I think it's a bit too big. Okay, and then maybe just tilt at the sideways like this. It's cool, yeah. Just a little bit closer. Okay, once you put your elements, you want to see whether it looks balanced or not. When I put these three elements, you feel like as though these three elements are going to drop down anytime soon. So it doesn't look visually balanced. So I would always like to put something at the bottom so it holds up the other three elements at the top. So it will look way balanced. So let's try that. Okay, so we'll just use this one here. And then we'll just paste at the bottom. We'll just paste first, and then we'll just put it at the end like that. That looks really lovely. Really lovely. Now, can you now see how this element sort of balance out the rest of the elements? So last but not least, we'll put in the website. So that is the most important part of your printable. You want people to remember you. So always remember to put your website. Okay. Oops. Alright, we'll maybe put it to 9 and we'll change it to the Gamja flower, and then we'll probably space the kerning out. So Option key or your Alt key with your right arrow. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And I'll probably want to put this in the center and center it again. Alright. And I think that looks much better. Way better. And then make sure this is aligned to page. You just centralize it in the middle. Okay, so you want people to remember you, and sometimes if this person is used to collecting lots of free printables, right, at least they know who is this printables from. And if let's say they like your work and they want to buy more products from you, they could easily copy and paste this website into the browser and look into your shop and browse all sorts of designs. And you might get repeat orders. You probably earn a fan from your free printables and they will come back to buy more from you. So one of the easiest way for them to get into your website, instead of letting them just to copy and paste your website, why don't put a clickable link onto your website? So to do this, click on your text, right click and go to hyperlink, new hyperlinks, and then we'll put in your website. Oops. Okay. So basically, once you export as an interactive PDF, you will notice that your link will be clickable and it will bring you into your website. So that's it. I think we are done. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And if you want to get this printable for free, you might be interested to be an Inspired Printables Club member. So it is basically a low one-time fee, which you can get new printables every month into your inbox. Plus you get access to 250 printables and it's growing every month. And you'll get like discounts for my printables all year round. There's just a lot of perks, okay? One of the perks is you get free bonus printables from all the tutorials I create from my YouTube channel. If you're interested in getting my free printables and all of these other perks, you know, from being a club member, please consider being a club member. Remember, if you do enjoy this tutorial, like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future tutorials from me. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye now.